Hello and welcome to the third of my series of videos looking for a transformational insight. Today I'm going to be talking about clarity, a wonderfully powerful state. And my name is Imogen Caterer and my website is www.hopecatalyst.com. Thanks for listening. Okay, so what is clarity? Clarity is this great state when you are at peace and you have a very clear sense of truth. It often comes to us as a little spark of insight, so you just feel at peace and then, wow, there's my solution. It's a state of no thinking, by which I mean there's a certain amount of intellectual churning that goes on as we try and work stuff out, figure stuff out, whatever. That needs to be set aside. It often occurs, in my world at least, in coaching conversations that I have with people, that suddenly get very quiet. And that's because they're kind of pointing in a direction, as we call it, of what is the source of our experience. Thought is one of those. What gets called consciousness and mind, don't worry about the words, they're also there. And in that sense of peace, often answers come, wisdom comes through, sometimes it is that full insight, that moment of, but otherwise it's just that knowing. Now, this is distinct from an I'm right kind of energy. I know I'm right. I know I'm there and everyone has to fit around me. That is a sign of an unclear mind that's kind of conning you that it's a clear mind. I've resigned jobs in that state. It was not good, but I felt sure in that moment that I had to leave that job, and everything around me was going, was overthinking, which is a clear sign I wasn't in clarity. I'm much better trying to figure out some way, because I felt a bit boxed in with it in that particular instance, to just lose a bit of time and create some space. So clarity, occasionally it just comes, in fact, with a deeper feeling and no obvious message for you. To be fair, that's another circumstance. I have that quite a bit these days. That deeper feeling is connection to mind, one of those ones I mentioned in creating new experience. Connection to wisdom, it's the same thing. Mind, wisdom, the creative power. It melts away what is sometimes called our ego, our self-obsession, and just allows us to be at peace. So it's a state of no thinking, so it's no academic mental kind of reasoning going on, or that I'm trying to figure stuff out. It's just very peaceful. And it just looks and says, and if you're aware of our underlying spiritual nature, looking in that direction can produce some really powerful insights and changes, some of which are never quite obvious. You just go off you go from that state and go and do something sensible, whereas before you might have done something unsensible. Often it's just common sense, some of this that comes through. But often that's obscured when we're overthinking things. And getting emotionally uptight and whizzing stuff around our brain really doesn't help. So thank you for listening, and I'm at www.hopecatalyst.com. Cheers.